Boom! What's up, Waves Capital? It's Royce Jacob, and welcome back to the channel. In this video, I want to share what I believe to be the best looking bull flag pattern that I've ever come across in the entirety of my decade-long trading career. And coming from me, that kind of says a lot because the bull flag is personally my favorite trading pattern by far, and it's also a necessary component for Waves Capital's two-wave thesis. Okay, so first things first, I know that many of you are already well aware of what a bull flag pattern is, but I figured it's still important to go over the specifics of what this pattern is, what makes it bullish, and what characteristics we can find in the chart that we're about to look at, which, as you already know based upon the title, is our favorite stock in the game, C3 AI. So if you're watching this at some point in the future, I still want to make it relevant. I am recording this on February 25th of 2023. This pattern, although it has not resolved yet, should resolve very, very soon. So if you're watching this from the future, please let me know if I was right or if I was terribly wrong about what's about to unfold here. Regardless, the fundamental principles of the bull flag still stand, and if you're watching this later on, I still want to provide some value through this video. So once again, we'll kick it off with what is a bullish flag, what is a bull flag pattern, and go over once again some main characteristics that all bull flags share. I also want to reference this actual Cointelegraph article that I did like because it mentions volume where a lot of articles don't, and volume, as I've been saying a whole lot in the newsletter, and many of you guys would know that, and on the channel as well, volume is such a necessary component of a bull flag. Like a bull flag is a necessary component of a two-wave pattern, which is what I do think, again, money where my mouth is, where this bull flag will resolve in a second wave. And you know what? I'll talk about my wave 2 targets for AI at the end of the video as well, of course. Okay, so that said, let's kick it off with a bull flag. Educate ourselves or remind ourselves of what a bull flag pattern is and what makes it bullish. I do want to read over my recent price targets newsletter where I cover C3 AI just to really sum up my macro analysis on the stock and on the company right now for you guys. It's been a rough past couple of weeks, but all is going accordingly. That's why I want to reference the hype cycle as well, and just remind you guys that everything is still going according to plan, although it may be starting to feel bleak. So we'll read over this. Once again, we'll dive into the charts, talk some real-time price action, break down this bull flag, and talk about those upside price targets that I've set for C3 AI on wave 2. Okay, so I'm excited about this one, you guys. Again, bull flag, my favorite pattern, and I'm always looking for these bad boys. So I'm pumped. And you know what? It's by design as well. I'm seeing a perfect one on our favorite stock right now. All right, so before we get to reading, you guys, please give the video a like if you do go on to gain value from it today. Let me know in the comments, what is your favorite trading pattern? What is a pattern that you will trade every time you see it? And the bull flag is mine. So I'll see you in the comments. And again, I appreciate the like and subscribe. All right, bullish flag formations are found in stocks with strong uptrends and are considered good continuation patterns. They're called bull flags because the pattern resembles a flag on a pole. The pole is the result of a vertical rise in a stock, and the flag results from a period of consolidation. The flag can be a horizontal rectangle, but is also often angled down away from the prevailing trend. Another variant is called the bullish pennant, in which the consolidation takes the form of a symmetrical triangle. The shape of the flag is not as important as the underlying psychology behind the pattern. That's a very, very important line, and that's what I always say, you guys. Technicals. Many people roast technicals. They say technicals don't matter. But what technicals really are at their core is visualized psychology, right? It's pretty much psychology that you can see, all right? And that's why technicals are important. Human nature works in patterns. Human nature is cyclical. Therefore, you can track those cyclical and just those innate human patterns on a chart. That's what technicals are. That's what trading is, okay? And that's a very important thing to understand as a trader, and that will become more and more clear the longer you spend in this game, if you don't already, I guess, take my word for it. But again, that's a very, very important thing to highlight, I guess. So basically, despite a strong vertical rally, the stock refuses to drop appreciably as bulls snap up any shares they can get. The breakout from a flag often results in a powerful move higher, again, wave 2, measuring the length of the prior flagpole. It is important to note that these patterns work in the same in reverse and are known as bear flags and pennants. So the evil twin sibling or the inverse sibling of the bull flag, of course, is the bear flag. Head and shoulders pattern, inverse head and shoulders pattern. All these work. I mean, yeah, exactly. Inverted as well. It's important to note that these patterns work in the same reverse. I read that. Bull flags typically begin to surface in conjunction with a new market rally, which is, again, what we've seen right here. And it very, very importantly, let's go down to the 5 characteristics that bull flags share. All right, so 1, the preceding trend. 2, the consolidation channel, which is what we're in right now. 3, the volume pattern, a massive spike in volume, followed by a lull in volume, and then you get that again, wave 2 of volume. I'm gonna be saying wave 2 a lot. We're in the wave cave. And again, Muddy is very, very heavily positioned in a wave 2. Many of you guys who are part of the portfolio newsletter, you do know that. Again, first link down below if you want to join. We'll shout that out more later, of course. And lastly, number 5, a confirmation where price moves in the same direction as the breakout. Let's move here quickly, go over a few of these points that, again, I liked how that Cointelegraph highlighted in regard to volume, and then we'll move into this, cover the macro thesis, close it out on the charts. Okay, so bull flag pattern resembles a flagpole, of course. In traditional crypto or trading, a bull flag pattern has 3 main features. The cryptocurrency has formed a pull after a robust rise in relative volume. And again, this just doesn't just have to be crypto. It can be stocks as well. It's all psychology at the end of the day. At lower volume, the crypto consolidates near the top of the pole to produce the flag. And to maintain the trend, the crypto breaks out of the consolidation pattern at a relatively solid volume. So just to highlight volume once again here. Again, for AI, you could see that there was absolutely no volume. There was 0 volume. There's such little volume. And I'm actually going to minimize myself right now for when we look at the charts later. It's about right there. And move my fat head just to show you guys the volume. So volume right now has come to a lull. But that's only because average volume has spiked so hard over the past couple of weeks, right? Again, we went from pretty much nothing. These volume signatures are almost insignificant. Even when you date back to C3 when it was at, when C3 was at a share price, of like $100 over here. The volume wasn't even comparable to what we're seeing right now. We're seeing more volume than we were back when the stock price of C3 was at $100, right? So we're seeing the spike in volume. Volume leads to, price action, of course, and volume are hand in hand. That price action leads to interest, leads to adoption, leads to new investors educating themselves upon the asset that is experiencing this hype rally. And that's just kind of like the flywheel of price action that's really composes a two-wave theory. Again, it all comes down to investor psychology at the end of the day. You can fall prey to this. Many have fallen prey to this. I've learned over, once again, the past 10 years of my trading career, how not to trade a hype cycle a few times the hard way. But hey, that's just part of the game, trial and error. So this is looking perfect to me. This is shaping up perfect. Again, we will cover price targets pretty soon here. But once again, let's first read over my macro thesis on AI right now. And of course, this does apply to all of our other AI stocks as well that I'm equally as excited about, to be honest. Okay. Shout out to GH, Guardant Health. Last video I made, the entire market was in the red, bleeding out on Friday, and Guardant Health was up 12%. Our options over 2x'd. So, you know what? Shout out Waves Cap. Speaking of, let's read over the newsletter that I sent out yesterday or the day of this, and again, go over C3 thesis prior to talking upside price targets or wave 2 price targets. Now, for what I believe to be the most perfect bull flag that I've ever come across, and thankfully, it also belongs to Waves Cap's largest position. Of course, as you know, full well already, that's C3. As many of you know, the bull flag, single favorite technical trading pattern in the game. And as traders, it's our job to identify opportunities where the potential reward outweighs the perceived risk. Identify opportunities where the potential reward outweighs the perceived risk, okay? Bolden that, underline that one. When it comes to the bull flag, I've found that this pattern provides a successful resolution, a breakout to the upside, far more often than not. Therefore, I will always choose to capitalize when I'm presented with one. In this case, it's near perfect. And with this in mind, I'm sure you can understand why I'm so heavily positioned with calls on this stock. So again, let's reference the hype cycle and remind ourselves of why everything is going accordingly. Again, spike in volume, you get the lull, you get everyone who is selling up here, followed by a lull in volume. And again, I think this bull flag is going to break out. I think the volume is coming back, and I think it is coming back strong. Okay, so although we've experienced a near 3-week correction, and although many traders and investors may be losing hope, all is still going accordingly in my eyes. We knew a correction would come, and we knew we'd run through the phases of the hype cycle prior to wave 2. We've been trading in a sideways range for the past 2 weeks. So again, just this bounce, this descending triangle, more of a descending triangle than a range, but relatively sideways because, no, not that one, because we're currently sitting at the same price we were on February 9th. So just coming back here and again, zooming in a little bit, you can see that the price we were at on Friday is where we were on February 9th right there. So, 2240, although it's been a roller coaster, right? We've been in this descending triangle pattern. We're still at the same share price that we were pretty much right as the correction started. So that's a good sign. We're still holding a specific level because you know what? Once we get down into this range over here, it's clear that buyers of the stock are eating up all the sell orders. Okay, so that's a very, very promising sign. All right. To me, this is the plateau of productivity, the calm before the storm. And we all know what happens after that. Wave 2. My wave 2 target stands at $42, and I'll be keeping my money where my mouth is. So I just spoiled it a little bit, but of course, I will rationalize that as we dive into the charts again, talk about this in real time, talk to you guys about why $42 is such a strong wave 2 target in my eyes. But you guys, if you want to trade with me on a daily basis, if you want to know exactly which call options I have on AI, on GH, on veritone, on this new stock that I will make a video about soon, on everything else, because those are only a few of the call options in my portfolio, to be honest, then hit the first link in the description. That will take you here. From here, of course, you go to my complete portfolio and daily newsletter, and you get exactly that. You get a complete breakdown of my entire personal portfolio, which I update every single trading day during market hours. Along with that update, I send 2 to 3 daily newsletters every single day, comprehensive. This is an example of my price targets newsletter. This comes out every day for a fact that this is my job, you guys. And for example, this one, we covered the SPY, GH, AI, veritone, Bitcoin, Riot, and Render. And again, just include charts, real-time price targets, and real-time theses. So again, if you want to trade with me, if you want to know the next GH, the next AI, then again, first link down below, $15 a month, $40 for every 3 months. You can even try it free for 7 days. And if you don't like it, it's always as easy as a click of a button to unsubscribe. But I really do believe you'll be sticking around, and I look forward to seeing you guys in Waves Capital. Okay. So once again, thank you if you sign up. If not, no worries at all. I appreciate you watching this video, and I hope you got some value out of it. So perfect bull flag. We pretty much covered everything here. Again, the parabolic move up, the spike in volume, followed by, everyone, the early adopters like us who took profits up here. Again, I reduced my AI positions by, I think at least 50%. My call options, that is. My AI call options by at least 50% up in this range. Obviously, I've lost money with everyone else who's held call options through this area, but that's okay with me because I took so many profits up here. And again, I didn't take all profits. I don't like doing that. That's not how I trade, but took like 50% of my position in profits up here. Was able to redeploy some of those profits over the past couple of weeks on these dips. And you know what? I ain't worried because I'm ready for wave 2. And if wave 2 doesn't come, that's okay. Because as I said in the newsletter, being a trader, once again, where am I? Being a trader is about identifying opportunities where the potential reward outweighs the perceived risk. This is the most perfect bull flag I recall coming across. Maybe I've seen some better ones before, but I figured it would make a good video. And this seriously does look like such a perfect bull flag. Again, maybe I'm wrong. You can revisit this video later and roast me if this thing just breaks down, because that's possible too. But again, being a trader, you weigh the odds. When you feel those odds, or you take the risk, take the necessary risk when you believe the odds fall in your favor. And right now, all things considered, this is looking like a textbook two-wave pattern to me. The reason I created that two-wave thesis in the first place is because hype cycles like these and psychological, emotional cycles like this are where I feel the most confident. That's where I've by far made the most money in my trading career over the past decade. Once again, And this is where I feel comfortable trading. So I'm excited to see where wave 2 takes us. Again, we will see a resolution by March 1st or 2nd, I think. That is the tipping point, the apex of this descending triangle pattern, which is the flag once again. And, at the same time, March 2nd is also earnings for C3. And this is coming very, very soon. So within the next few days, we're getting earnings. February, again, short month. So I think it's this Thursday or Friday is March 2nd. And, I do think that there is a lot of room for upside surprise potential. And I'm excited to see what happens there. Okay, so my wave 2 price target is $42. That's been made clear. I'm sure all of you know that by now because it's written right there. But the reason for that is because I'm actually I gotta make this way smaller right now because it's really getting in the way. So keep that there for later. But the reason my price target is $42, one, as it says right there, $42 was the price at which C3 IPO'd at. That is the price that investment bankers deemed to be fair value. And C3 is still growing. So again, hopefully that earnings report on March 2nd really sheds light on the fact that their revenue is growing, that they're doing good things as a company. And it's not just the hype that's driving them forward, although that's really the primary thing that I personally care about. The earnings is kind of the cherry on top. As crazy as that sounds, when you're experiencing a hype cycle, it's not supposed to make sense. That's the point of a manic emotional hype cycle. And that's why you need to be aware of that and take advantage when you see things get way out of whack, which, you could argue has already happened, but I think it's about to get significantly more whack. And two, it's because $42 was the level, $42, $43 was the previous level on the overall downtrend that has not yet been retested with a new high. So as we all know, previous floors become new ceilings. The ceiling that we saw in October of 2020, the floor that we saw in October of 2021 that did hold has not yet been retested since its break in November of that year. And I think that this also acts as, again, just a technical cherry on top, that this will be the next ceiling on wave 2. So wave 2 target is $42. Muddy where my mouth is. Again, if you want to trade with me on a daily basis, if you want my daily newsletters, maybe I'll read through this in a future video, but this is an example of my macro analysis that I just released yesterday as well. And, in my mind, it's inevitable that another wave to new local highs is on the horizon. If some can't see it, then they'll get swept away with all of the other bears. So I hope you're on board with me. If not, that's perfectly okay. Always make your own decisions. I'm just here to give you my opinion and, let you make decisions for yourself. But if you're with me, there's no one I'd rather ride with. And, I'm pumped for wave 2. So cheers to that, you guys. I'll talk to you soon. I don't know how much I'll be recording this week. But, again, I'll always see you in the newsletter. And, again, I appreciate you watching. Let me know in the comments, what's your favorite trading pattern? Are you excited about wave 2? Or do you think I'm an idiot? Anything matters. I always love hearing your guys' feedback. And I'll talk to you downstairs. Until then, always remember, take action, make waves. Peace, team.